did not marry each other.
Yeah.
But biologically are Shembe. So that also comes with indlela yakhona. When we were fitting. And I already knew that we're not on a normal set here. Here, what has been done is we are just vessels. And the owners of this history are here. Using the slave masters. Maybe now we need to come and get the
How are you though financially? Like, are you sorted? Are you good? Are you happy?
Yes.
Are there any roles you wouldn't take?
And
where are we looking? In the strip clubs? Where are we looking for this?
In order to make your own money first. Before we go out there and look for husbands with money. Because we must find husbands with money with our own money. Hey, then he did this thing and I was like, this guy can lift me up.
What else can you do?
Nice, Martell is nice.
Smooth, eh?
2004, was it 2004 or... Yes, it was 20 years ago, 2004.
Jeez,
when you go back 20 years, there were people that were on screen and they don't have anything right now.
We're coming at you live from Coffee in Midrand, and thanks to our friends at Martell, we are going to give you a chance and your friend to come see Chris Brown live. Yes, that's right. We've got Chris Brown tickets, and all you got to do to win is buy yourself a Martell bottle. You can scan the QR code right now or check out the link in the description below and use the promo code right now so you can win yourself those tickets. We'll see you in December. You don't want to miss this. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of the greatest thespians to come out of this country. Please make some noise for Sis Don THANDEKA King. We've got a legend in the house, guys. Bro. Thank you so much for your time. I'm so glad you came because I finished watching Blood Legacy. Oh my word. Your performance. Yes! Incredible. How did you prepare for that role?
Firstly, I would like to say that I had a language advisor.
Okay.
Specifically for me, Nestsotsi Sam.
Yeah.
And then I've always been found by characters like that. Like they find me. I don't go out looking for them. They find me. Characters of powerful, lethal women. And I don't know why they find me, but in preparation, I had to just draw from the strengths of all the women that I've portrayed, and they've all been very strong, but I just had to mellow this one down.
Yeah.
That we don't have to worry here, we've got this.
You were so believable, man. At some points, like, I believed I was really scared of you. Like, and actually the cast as well, not just you, the people you're working with.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen that show, bro?
No.
Bro, you gotta watch it, dog. The cast is amazing. Like, from the lead actors, Tolile Chabalala,
Chabalala.
Amazing, dog.
Yeah.
Black Coffee's wife is there as well. Or ex-wife, sorry.
Yeah.
Why was her accent American? I wondered why.
I think it's a choice. For an actor, you have to make your own choices. Remember, we create different characters. They might look similar, but they have to be distinctly different from any other character that you've performed. So I think her choice was the accent.
Yeah. Even Achimuroka's there. The cast is amazing.
Silo.
Silo. Yeah, he was there, man. What did you think of the storyline? I have my 2 cents, but I want to find out what you thought about the storyline.
I love the fact that it was based in KZN and it's based on a business that we don't think about, umoba. I mean, that's where the wealth of that family comes from umoba and the trucks and everything. And which is basically what the business is mostly in Durban. There's trucks that take things to the border, from Durban to Richards Bay or whatever. So they're in that business, in the port business, where it's like a trucking business and it's a MOBA business. So I love the fact that they're actually showcasing KZN and they're showcasing what most KZN families look like because as much as we don't know this, but most families in KZN are opulent. There's wealth there. There's
a lot.
So they showcase that. And in terms of the storyline, I mean, I'm no writer, I'm no producer, so I'm only an actor there.
Yeah, man, I had an issue with the storyline because, like, I don't know if it's a trend happening because I watch a lot of local productions, especially on streaming platforms like Netflix, Prime Video, whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a trend, but I get the feeling like it's usually American storylines that just have like a local twist to it. Because I've watched so many shows and I can tell within like watching 5 minutes of a show.
Yeah,
that
I think it is adapted from, is it a Mexican show or a Colombian show? Something like that. I'm not sure what it's called right now, but it is adapted. And I think it's a brief that comes from Netflix. I don't know. Never pitched there. It's a
So
brief.
they say this is what works across the globe.
Yes.
Apply this template.
Yes.
But I think they're getting it wrong there, man. Because we have such rich stories, like in SA.
Bro.
I mean, it'll take them to come here and experience us, I suppose.
But it's right because the business model now currently at Netflix is they look at algorithms.
Yeah.
So if they have like El Chapo and it does really well, then the algorithm is you're more likely to get a show commissioned by Netflix if it fits that algorithm.
Yes.
You know, but
Or Narcos.
Or
And then they have a
Narcos.
South African one called Nakhog. Right about drug dealing of Nyaupe somewhere. Yeah.
and I know you said you're not a writer or anything, but don't you think that kills the artistry in some way? Because there's so many stories.
Look, it does, but if that's not here right now, what are we going to do? Actors need jobs, and it's not every actor that is going to become a writer or a producer. I mean, there's just nothing we can do. We can just be performers and try to showcase our talents, and hopefully one day we'll get there.
I think SABC did that very well, showcasing like local stories.
They did.
But I don't know what's going on there at SABC now because they haven't commissioned the show in a while, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I don't know. Look, they still have Uzalo. It's been running there for 10 years, and I think Uzalo was a very nice example of what we're talking about. We're talking about a township lifestyle that I don't think had ever been seen on television in the manner that they showcased it. I don't know if they're still following that same storyline, but that's the only thing I know that's on SABC.
What stories would you tell? Let's say you've got unlimited budget. We are Netflix. Here we are. What are you telling?
You know what I would do? I would go the spiritual route because I think our spirituality in Africa is not understood.
And it's untapped.
Yeah, it's untapped and it's not understood. And when we do it in, we are quick to put people in bias and that's what we're doing as if that's what spirituality is about. There's a lot to it. And let's tell the history of it. How did it come about? Why is Africa such a powerful continent? Why is Africa the Batini, cradle of humankind?
Yeah.
Why are we shying away from telling that story? The fact that everybody comes from Africa. Why? Why are we still Tinalana in Africa still as powerful as we are in terms of energy? You know, and why is that being shut down? I would go that route if I had my own.
And you're right,
funds.
man. Whenever we see like spirituality portrayed on series or TVs or whatever, it's always like in a bad light.
Yes.
Like, it looks slim.
And there's that too, sir. There was once a show, man, on SABC. I forgot the name, and it was just so scary. And it was trending always because of that. And you eventually even lose, the story and the storyline. And there's a different side of spirituality apart from, looking scary and sounding scary.
And I think I want you to take us back to, I think it was the 1st of April 2009. When you encountered your first, how do we say it?
Spiritual calling.
Calling, yeah. You were working for a corporate and in the middle while you were walking, you just started having
Okay.
What happened that
So
day?
I was working for a company called Popcrew Group of Companies. It's the investment company for Popcrew, the union. And the company had or has a lodge in the Kruger National Park. So I marketed it. I was the marketing and I was the marketing manager for the lodge.
Yeah.
And the offices were based in Pretoria. So I was at work, normal. sitting in my office. Then I start feeling weird because you see, I've always been open about the fact that I've had a journey with mental health issues. Yes. So I had just come from hospital, from being hospitalized. I had crashed, burnt out, whatever. So I came back and I knew that, I had just come back from feeling a certain way. So this feeling was almost like that, almost like anxiety, almost ngathi ntugile, like ngathi kontela. But then this was accompanied by an urge to roar.
Whoa.
Like, hey, this is a manager sitting, pinstripe suit, big table, big chair. Wow.
You kidding?
Whoa, it was not funny, guys.
But no,
it wasn't. It was a black people company.
Oh,
So
okay.
the people that my colleagues that were there came back, kulega. So it was almost like when they were praying, so it's ngati, whatever was happening, it just stopped calmly and waited for nizoqeda ngalento niyenzayo. Fire when nizoqeda. And I have no problem with praying and I was born a Christian and I am still a Christian and all of it to me makes sense right now. However, mabekhuleka baqede basiyaqeda but amen.
Whoa.
Jeez, that's insane.
So then my ex-husband was my husband at the time, came, fetched me, so we had to go and find out. Like I did not have a background of tradition and spirituality. I didn't have that background. So it was a new journey for all of us. So then I was told, it's not even like, often it is said that you must go and you must dream, directed somewhere, and then they must help you. That didn't happen to me. I guess it had been happening to me without me knowing. But I don't remember being directed somewhere. So when that journey began, then that first person helped us, ngendlela yakhe, and then eventually we were directed to Tembisa, to somebody else to help. And then by this time, Koko Ambega say kulumela. Like he so I shift to the side and he comes out and he speaks. So by this time, when I'm going through this journey, he was doing it for himself. Wow. So then he was able to say, Mfunuenze 1, 2, 3. And if you do 5, 6, and 7, I'm out of here. I don't know how many people he left, because I'll say he was leaving them. Until eventually, I had some help from KZN, went back home, got help, so I completed back at home. So then I became a traditional healer. But my journey was not the normal route that I've seen people go. Of course, I did stay at home and I worked in Dumbeni while I was working in corporate. But that journey was very complicated in that it was not understood by other traditional healers. So I say, Mina, I keep evolving. I evolved from Ndumbeni. I was taken out of Ndumba literally because he did say that. And then he said, I will start healing them in thousands. I didn't understand what that was. But then when 2014 came and I got the role on Uzalo. And Uzalo became what it became. And Umangobo became what she became. Then I understood what that was. Then I was healing through my work, my talent, my acting, my performance.
So when your grandfather Moti comes and
Great.
and speaks through you, then where do you shift to? What's your perspective of it? Do you just black out or do you see it?
I black out.
No, like he takes over.
Yes,
but you're still there.
I'm not there. I kind of go to sleep. I can't explain it.
Wow.
I guess it's one of those things that are kept very sacred and secret from even yourself. Because you fall back, but you're there, but you're not there. And you still need to be told when that has happened, you still need to be told what was happening because you were not part of it.
Oh, yeah, you have no recollection.
Blackouts, basically.
Yeah, wasn't that this scary for you?
It was scary at first. I mean, who wants to sound like a man? who wants to, as a lady, there are times when you become a man, like a grandfather. I've got a Bokoko as well. But there's we always have a dominant one that leads. And then Nabanyeke, I don't have just one, Baning. But there's one that comes with the gift and is the one that will speak.
And at no point are you like, hey man, I don't want to do this. Let me stick
It's
to
not
corporate.
like I had a choice.
Yeah.
It's not like I was given a choice. It just came and ngakula. That's why about to say akula, and then we need to go through the process so that we can be healed through the herbs that are used until the spirit is fully fledged in your body. It's like bayangena egazini nasemzimbeni wakho and use you. That's why bathi thina siyafa. Bese umzimba wethu is used by those.
So like till that day in 1st of April.
Yeah.
Retrospectively looking at it, were there no signs? You know, some people say maybe as a kid they used to think of something and then it would happen.
They probably were. I just, like I say, I didn't have that background, so I would not have thought, oh, mang poop, oh, this is. But there was also an incident when I think I was 7, 8. Our bedroom at my grandparents' house was next to our grandparents' bedroom, and it had a window that was very high up for a child that was 7 or 8 to climb up on the windowsill and jump, because it was far to jump from the window down. It was almost like 2 meters. I was a little girl. But I woke up, it's like I woke up outside.
What?
Standing, like leaning on the wall like this. And the curtain, I was woken up by the curtain blowing. And I was calm. I just walked around, and I remember my mom was there, because my mom wasn't there all the time, but she was there. So I got up the kitchen stairs and I knocked. So she heard, like, with little fingers. And she's like, Ubani lo. And she goes, Imean, wena bani? Uthandeka. Oh, my mom freaked out. This is like 3 in the morning.
Crazy.
So she opens the door for me. She's like, Ubumap. And she says I was sweating, and I was not conscious to go wrong. So she goes to my grandparents' bedroom and she's like, Aibo, and they're like, I don't remember I think my grandfather also had his own thought process, but no one ever, I think, because no one ever said, Aibo, no, but because I think they don't know what was happening.
Exactly.
But also, my father's side of the family doesn't make it easy. I'm a Shembe.
Oh.
Meaning, Isaiah Shembe is my great-grandfather.
Wow.
Oh, wow. The Shembe.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Meaning, Simpiwe Shembe is my brother.
Wow.
We have different fathers, but that's my father's side.
Yeah.
I was raised by my stepfather, even though I never like to call it like that, but I was raised by someone that then became my father when my mom and my father did not marry each other.
Yeah.
But biologically, I'm a Shembe. So that also comes with indlela yakhona.
Yes.
So in as much as I didn't have the traditional background, but my father's side is very traditional. My father's side has a very rich history with spirituality.
True.
So, yeah, man.
Wasn't your name a good sign? I mean, your name is powerful. Don Thandeka King, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you about that one. So before, I was just Don King. Then I got married, Don saw me. And that was normal. I was in corporate, nah. So a year before I got Uzalo, I went to meet a life coach. I saw this guy once. And then I just told him about what I wanted to do with my life and my brand and whatever. And he said to me, what's your name? Just give me your names. And he was using, like, I think, lentobati numerology.
Oh, numbers.
Numerologist. And alphabets and whatever. Yeah.
Numerology.
So he then typed my name. He was like, what's your second name? So I'm like, Thandeka. So he, Don Thandeka. And he was like, whoa. So when he added Thandeka, something happened to whatever that
Something
was.
got unlocked, yeah.
So he said to me, whatever you do, your arrangement shall always be Don Thandeka. It doesn't matter what surname you use.
Yeah.
So I said, but I will stick with my maiden surname, which is the surname my stepdad gave me. So the arrangement then was Dawn Thandeka King. That's why I become very, like, content when a person swaps them around because they think because I'm black, then Kalango Tande.
Yes.
No, there's a reason it's in the middle. And it's out there in the universe.
That's
so when
crazy.
you say my name, something happens.
Yeah, they're Thandeka, like it just flows, you know, like off the mouth. Don't Thandeka King. Powerful, man.
So how do you choose that your ancestors must work through you via entertainment? Because, you know, most people will probably like want to be a sangoma, like, you know, like heal people or like another way, you know?
I don't think I chose. I think it was a part of it from the beginning. I was always a performer.
So you're always a performer.
From childhood.
Oh.
I anything that had to do with performance, I was there.
Music.
At school, I was in every choir, every sinnering group, every school play, every church play. I was the performer there. So it's always been there. So it's a gift that I was born with. So this gift, in order for it to eat, it needed for me to go that journey. That's how I got to where I am today. I think nobody told me this, but this is what I think. I would never have got to where I am today if I had not gone through that journey. And that journey was not for me and heal people endumeni one by one.
Yes.
It's bigger than that. It needs to heal them in their thousands, in their millions. There's only one way to do that, to be on this medium. I had to evolve and then start to heal digitally. Because you need to see me on television one by one. In your millions, you see one person.
And how are you healing in that process? Like
it's through whatever that person is feeling, whatever storyline I'm part of and whatever I'm saying and whatever I'm doing, you will heal in whatever way that you receive me as an energy.
Wow. So when we see you on the screens, that's the energy that's taking over.
That's the energy.
That's why it's so powerful, man. That's why. You gotta teach these girls, man. You know what I mean?
Spiritual, man.
But how do you teach energy though? How do you teach something that you were born with?
So is there a role you wouldn't take if you don't see the healing in it? Or are you just going to take a role and you'll find the healing in you acting out that role?
There is no role that does not have healing in it. Because every single human being has a role to play on earth. Everyone, even line a role. Even the billionaire that lives wherever he in a role. So there is no energy force that does not have a role to play.
So you get into entertainment, you're finding your way, you've accepted the calling, you're doing amazing things. What was that journey like for you? Like, what did you encounter? Did you encounter any like weird spirits, good spirits, bad spirits? What's happening throughout
I think when I started on Uzalo, it was overwhelming. Okay, when you dream. But when you experience, it's something else. You can dream that you want to be, in front of a large crowd of an audience. That's a dream.
Yeah.
But when you experience that, when you reach people and it's crowds of people that come at you at the same time, it's like,
it's crazy.
It's different. It then says, I don't even know what it is that you guys see, but wow, whatever it is, it drives you crazy. I appreciate that about people. I appreciate the fact that they love what I do. And, it's scary because you don't know how long this is going to last.
Yes.
And you feel grateful when you keep getting good roles. And I thank my ancestors and I thank God every time I land a good role. And you should always remain numb to it. Don't ever allow yourself to say, I've made it, because you haven't. It's a journey. Up until your eyes close and they bury you, the journey still continues. If you're not dead, you have not reached anywhere. So, Mabati, I've made it. I don't know what that looks like. Because there are still a lot of roles to play. There's this, I said one day, before I played Mkabai In 2015, my sister reminded me when Shaka was screening. She said, "Do you remember that you said, if you get to play the role of Umkabayi in South Africa, your career would have reached the ceiling."
Wow.
Whoa.
In 2015, she said, I said this. And I remember myself saying this. And I remember asking, I remember my partner was on Isibaya and I heard they were going to be auditioned. And I did ask them to communicate with me or my agent when there was the audition for Umkabayi. And they did. And I went and I auditioned and I got the role. And that said something to me. It said, if you speak something, it lands.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
100%.
Because I had already declared it.
Yeah.
But then at that time, we didn't have more Netflix. I didn't know Gucci Netflix was going to come here and then we would be, because E-Ceiling would be Showmax.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it, yeah.
But now, I'm international with Blood Legacy.
Wow.
And Blood Legacy, funny enough, is number 10
In the world?
in the world.
Wow.
No way.
I'm not shocked. I'm
It
not
is.
shocked, dog. That thing is amazing, bro.
So that means that then the Netflix algorithm works and how they say you must do the shows.
Yeah.
But like, what attracted you to Umkabayi? Because there's so many in South Africa powerful women historically.
No, man. Look, it's not just Umkabayi. I remember in 2012, I also said I'd like to play a Nkosazana Zuma character.
Whoa.
And that story hasn't been written, and I know it's coming. I'm not a Winnie Mandela character. That's not me. I can speak isiXhosa, but it's not me. I'm more Nkosazana Zuma. You know yourself as a character. Ukuthi ubani ozomdlala kahle.
But they're both strong. Why
I know,
not Winnie?
but I choose to play Nkosazana Zuma. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with playing Winnie Mandela.
Definitely.
I think there are people that could be casted to play Winnie Mandela and they would get that role, and I don't think that's me. I think if I were casted to play Nkosazana Zuma, I would play a good Nkosazana Zuma.
Do you pick up people's vibes like when you walk into a room?
I do.
No ways.
I mean, it's energy.
Yeah.
It's energy.
Yeah.
So
What vibe are you picking up now?
cool vibe. It was very laid back. Like,
Alright, shout out.
like kumnandi.
Appreciate it.
Kumnandi,
Yeah,
ne?
no, it's very nice.
Yeah.
I love your energy, guys. You've got very calm. Like, I think everyone is attentive. Everyone's listening.
Yes.
Because I walk with a mother energy.
Yeah.
So now I move into a space like figu mama. I mean, I get called Mam Don by people that are even older than me. And I accept that.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I walk with the energy of a mothering energy.
Do you find it hard when, like, let's say you walk into a room and you're feeling this energy and you have to tell someone? Because some people don't like to be told. Like, how do you move around that?
I think I've evolved from that
Yeah.
space because as spiritual people, we grow, we evolve. Kona who's still in their infant stages of spirituality, also pick up everything ufuna ukutshela. But sometimes when you just pick up something, sit in it and just wish that person well. If it's really something that you need to communicate, you can take someone and speak to them like that. But you don't want to keep telling people their stories.
How do you know that this one needs to be told and that this one?
It's a nagging feeling. It's a nag. It has to. It's like fanegi iphume ngeke uhambe ungayishonga.
But let's be honest, this thing it's a gift and a curse, ne?
It is. You're right. Because imagine you are in a family that does not have the history of having a spiritual person in the family.
You're the chosen one.
Yeah, but how I look at it is, it's not like I'm the first one who's had the calling. I say there were people with the calling who didn't accept it. Because on my mother's side of the family, I've got my great-grandfather, the one that comes to me, he was a preacher of the Lutheran Church. So Bababiza Abavangeli, that's why it's called the Evangelical Lutheran Church. So Abavangeli. So the missionaries came and they found people in areas and they converted certain people to priests. and they taught you the Bible and everything. And those people were the first Christians of their areas. When missionaries came, they visited certain areas in KZN, and my great-grandfather was one of those people. And then the family was baptized, and, they became Christian, Lutherans. So my grandfather was a Lutheran priest and then a Lutheran archbishop. So I come from a very strong Christian background on my mother's side. And then my father's side of the family is the Shembe church. So they clashed.
Ooh.
Sure.
But I believe that this side was also just as spiritually powerful before they came into the Christian space. But they just didn't go that route.
What do you know about the Shembe Church? I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it.
Okay, so the Shembe Church was created by Isaiah Shembe. Isaiah Shembe grew up in the Harrismith area, that area. I'll just fast forward to how it happened. So he was young and Belusi Ngomo was just herding cows, and he was not educated. They were not Christians. They just lived in a farm, a boer farm, where he looked after the cows and whatever. So one day he's out there in the fields, herding the cattle. Then he's struck by lightning.
Jeez.
And then he's struck by lightning. But from that time onwards, something started speaking to him inside. Spirit started speaking to him. Fast forward, Spirit starts to teach him the Bible. He didn't know how to read. So he saw the Bible and he was very curious. And as he grew up, I think there was they belonged to a farm. So at the farm, whoever had the Bible would read the Bible to him. So he would be very interested in the Bible. But he couldn't read the Bible. So in his sleep, he started dreaming the Bible.
Wow.
Spirit started teaching him to read the Bible. Then he started attending church. I'm not going to get all the things 100% correct, but it was almost like the Wesley church, like a Maweseli. In the area, that church, he started attending that church. At this time, Spirit still speaks to him. Spirit speaks to him. It's like it felt like a wheel turning inside of him when this thing was happening to him. It's a spiritual encounter. And then he attended church like everyone else. And then at church, he started seeing things for people, like prophesying for people.
Prophet.
And then they didn't like that about him. So he was kicked out of that church. And then there was another, I think he's a priest, or also almost like a prophet, who allowed him to come into his church, baptize him so that he could then start preaching. But he did it differently. And what he wanted was, he didn't want to convert and be baptized into the Christian space. He didn't feel that the Christian space understood what he was coming with.
Yes.
So he created his own journey. And how he started the church was, he was sent by Spirit to sent from the Harrismith area, the Escort area, to KZN, where he was then based. And he received, almost like a Moses story, but he received messages from Entlangagazi, which is the mountain where the pilgrimage goes to in January, where they all walk to in Entlangagazi. So he stayed there, and that's where he received the messages on how he was going to start this church. And he started the church, and he was then situated in the area called Ekpagameni, which is in the Nanda area. Nanda area has a place called Ekpagamen. So what he wanted to do was create a space for Black people to live, to worship in the manner that they would understand, without being converted, without being told you need to put on different types of clothes. Dress as you are, come as you are, but worship God in your language, worship God in the way that he created songs. He was the one that created the choreography alone, with the trees singing for him, with him. He created so all that he created, the dances, the moves, he created that. And then he created Ekpagameni, where people came and lived. So what he wanted was for people to live there, farm their own land, have their own animals, and almost like become self-sustainable without anyone coming in to interfere. So that's why he created Ekpagameni. It was almost like a village where no one would come and interfere, because at that time, missionaries were there and people needed to convert to either Anglican, Lutheran, and Catholic, or whatever else that was there. And other priests of the time felt that he was stealing people from them, because people wanted to worship God in the way that they understood, in your own language, in your own culture.
Yes, yes.
You still must do your own things. If you do those things, they are barbaric. If you're going to slaughter, you're slaughtering for your ancestors, and you are told it's barbaric. It's part of your culture. It's part of who you are. So how I've started understanding what he wanted was to preserve the culture of the Zulu people, because that's where but it doesn't mean Ushembe wamaZulu phela. Ushembe wanomubani in Africa that wants to maintain your culture, your African culture, wherever
God.
you are, while praising God. God didn't say, why did he create us the way that he created us? Because the Europeans came into Africa and thought we were half human, half animal. Yeah. We didn't have a culture. We didn't have a religion. They didn't take time to understand who we are, our culture, our belief system. They didn't understand any of it. And yet they wanted to convert us. Wow. So that was he was fighting against. And he was sent, the way Nabo they were sent, he was sent by God, to come and say, no, it's okay. You are this way. So worship God in this way. Don't change. So, I mean, there are clashing views, and people believe it, people don't believe it, but I understand what he was saying, and I need to understand it. I'm part of that, and I am going on a journey of learning the Shembe side, and I'm learning it because no one taught me, because I didn't grow up on the side. I mean, I'm glad I have Simpiwe as my brother. He always shares, and I've got other family members. They share who we are, our history, and I need to understand who Shembe is, because to me, he's not Shembe, the one that started the church. He's my great-grandfather.
Of course.
He's
different.
Blood, yeah. So I need to be able to speak like this, and I need to be able to make people understand that for me, it's a family history thing. It's a family tree, and I need to understand there's a lot of, you can read, it's on the internet, some of it is on the internet, but I believe most of it still needs to be captured. People need to go to the old people that lived during his time, that were young during that time. These
are the stories we should be telling. Don't tell us about blood legacy. What is that? Come on now.
Oh, now blood legacy is not good enough. Yeah, but I think Umkoka was, in a way, trying to tell that story.
Umkoka is what?
Umkoka is on.
The show was on.
It's a show at 8:30 on Mzansi.
Okay.
I think that's the story they were trying to communicate. Even though
you were on Inkaba. Sorry, my bad. You were on Inkaba.
I was on Inkaba.
Yes, I said you.
But what's crazy is that we have so many stories like that, because when you were speaking, I'm like, oh, maybe that's how the ZCC church started as well.
Yes.
You understand? And then we've got Queen Mujaji now, which is beautiful.
Yeah,
we've got so many stories,
man. We do.
So what's your take on these fake pastors now, like your Enigma, your Mboro?
I don't think I've ever been interested in that type of thing. I grew up in the traditional Christian home, so I've never wanted to experiment with Christianity. I was okay. I grew up there. I got married. When I got married into the Anglican church, which is similar.
Because it just seems like they're taking something so beautiful and making it a farce, you know?
Yeah, and it's sad, because then it's also a business now. So the more money you have, the more blessed you are in the church. So the priest will only pray for you when you bring Nigelo Mkhulu.
That means, yeah.
You get the big blessing.
And the more outrageous you are now, the more views you get, which means the more money you make. You're right.
Yeah.
It's a business now.
So I think it's important for us to also remember, Uguti, spirituality is who we are. If we play around with who we are, then what do we have? Like, for instance, as traditional healers, we show everything now. Showcase everything. I mean, what is sacred? What do we still have that is sacred?
Isn't that transparency, though, to bring people closer?
No. When India likhombisa umsamalo,
That's true. Nabelu, when they do have misamo.
Have you ever seen them practice their rituals on
they
social
flourish.
media?
With social media, we also seeing this fascination or glorifying the bad, because with everything good, there's always bad things, you know? Like social media is good, but then there's people that use it for bad.
Yeah.
So with spirituality, Ubsangoma, what's your take about people that use it to get rich husbands or like enrich themselves with these snakes and whatnot?
Angeti, you do know that spirituality has dark forces and light, and there's light and dark.
Yeah.
Ngumthandazi mina. I don't even want to go into that space.
Is that the devil at work?
No, I don't know what it is. It's dark forces. You could say it's the devil, but it's dark forces. Healing has both light and dark.
Gotcha.
You can use dark for whatever you want to use it, but you can use it to harm people. You can use it to enrich and strengthen yourself. But once you use it to harm other people, then I don't think you are still in the healing space. You are usuyatagata phela manje. Sekubthakathi
On the other side.
And ubthakathi, it's not something that we can sit here and give airtime to.
Got you. Let's move right along.
Yeah.
A lot of people that we've spoken to who've worked on Shaka Ilembe, they say when you walk on that set, it's crazy. Like there's another energy at work. The spirituality is insane. They get not possessed, but like taken over by this.
Yeah.
Did you feel the same thing as a spiritual healer?
I think my one was for everyone to see.
Wow.
So first when I was fitting, when we were called in for fittings, I felt my shoulders go heavy. So then they put there's this cape that I have when she has with horns. Whenever I would put that on, and I feel a presence.
Whoa.
So I did communicate, and I said, I feel her. When we were fitting, and I already knew that we're not on a normal set here. Here, what has been done is we are just vessels. And the owners of this history are here, using every one of us as a vessel.
Wow.
Because when we looked at each other, we didn't see each other. We saw some, like I've never experienced what we experienced when you look at a person performing and you lose in the eyes. You're supposed to see the person you know, but when you look at people, we wouldn't see who we knew. We would see another presence, and we knew this because when you feel a presence, your hair twists and you get goosebumps and you feel eerie. We knew there was a presence. For me, I was shooting a scene. And it was the war scene where there was, I think it was in the first few episodes where there was just warriors on the floor. And I was telling Usenzanga Kona that his friend didn't make it. So when I was shooting that scene, I carried the stick, right? Then I started feeling myself, the stick shake like this. And as I was speaking, my voice started getting deeper. Because when I started shooting, I didn't start with the voice that I had. Then my voice started getting deeper. And luckily, we had people that were knowledgeable about spirituality. And visibly, it could be seen that there was something happening to me. So they didn't stop. They didn't cut until I finished. By the time I finished, my voice was deep. So then they ran and gave me water, and that's where the whole thing happened. So there was an arrival. I won't say, I don't know what was happening, but there was just an arrival, and there was a spiritual encounter, and I needed to be removed.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, to be removed from from set to my
the thing, yes.
to my trailer.
Yes, trailer, yes.
So yeah. So that's when I knew she was there.
That's insane.
Because from that day I could not go back to a normal voice.
So she's there and she's making a presence felt, but is she communicating somehow with you?
We kind of the more I understood what was happening, the more we communicated, and the more I knew that, oh, I'm not alone. I must now not treat this as I'm here to act. I must always make myself known that I am now here. We can now start working. So I had a ritual. Every time I would walk onto set, I would announce myself and say, I am here. Sesingawuqala umsebenzi mntwana sisebenze kahle emageba kwenzeke ukufunwa uwe hayi ukufunwa yimina. It was my personal ritual because I now understood that I was simply just a vessel.
How is that even possible? It's a set. It's a movie. It's like, but you guys are acting. It's not real.
Do you think that we were not acting? It's not real when we were reenacting things that were there. We were retelling history. It's
people who lived.
People that
there.
lived. It's not fiction. It's not the things that we do on a daily. This is different. This is people who lived. Abantu, abanamagama, abanebongo.
It's not Marvel.
It's not.
Wow.
And that's
that makes it even more powerful.
That's why it feels different. When you watch it, it
yes.
feels different.
And you're on the land they walked.
Yes.
It's not like you are in America, in Chicago, Hollywood.
Yes.
You are there. Because, I mean, these people have families, literally. And they still, their families still talk to them.
Yes.
Their spirits are still among us with their families and those that they can track back.
Did you have a problem with, for lack of a better word, a white company like Bomb Production shooting a story like that? I mean, a Zulu story.
No, I didn't have a problem because before they even started writing or shooting the story, research was done. I mean, the first Shaka Zulu was also done by white people.
Yes.
And I worked on that land. I worked on that first set.
For real?
Yeah. When I worked at Shaka Land, that was the actual set.
Wow.
That was way back in in 1999 when I worked. It had become now a place where tourists come and visit.
Oh, got you.
And it has a hotel around it. So, I mean, I didn't have a problem because they did their research and they received instructions on how to tell the story and what not to do. So and there were advisors that were sent to guide them always. So I didn't have a problem because are we going to sit and wait for a black company to do it? I mean, if we don't tell the story now, who will tell it in the future? Who's interested in our culture and our history right now? Like, Bonelama 2000 going forward, are they interested?
Nah, they don't care.
They're going to AI it and just move on.
Or make it a superhero. Make it a Marvel.
You know
make
what
it
I mean?
King Chala. Well, they say it's closer, but you can't hear any closer. You know what I mean? Then it's going to get Hollywood. You're right. Let's be honest. It's a fact.
So if we don't do it now, whether a white company is doing it or not, who's going to do it?
Another production which you are so amazing on. You really are talented. Like, I think you're a goat, man. Lockdown.
Oh.
Was that a true reflection of what South African female prisons are like?
I think so, yes.
Because
also what we had there was ex-inmates that were amongst us. They were part of the background, but they would advise.
Oh, like extras?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They were extras, but they were ex-inmates, some of them. Yeah. And they would advise on the writing, advise on what happens. Pella, we were shooting in an actual jail. That jail also, it has its own personality.
That's crazy.
That place when you shoot, we would shoot until maybe like 2, 3 in the morning, and you would feel we're no longer alone here.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. It was a true reflection because, hey man, that energy, when it finds you, you become a stranger to yourself.
Gotcha.
Like for that period, I was also a stranger to myself. I was scary to my children. My children didn't watch Lockdown. I think they watched 2 episodes. Bakala Bayega.
Were you taking that character home? Is that what? Oh,
When they watch
when
it.
they watch
They
it.
could not identify with who that was.
Yes.
And they cried and left it alone. It was a lot.
And you like, job done.
When I scare my babies.
But yeah, that was amazing. Is that coming back?
I don't think so. We did 5 seasons.
Yeah, that's a
I don't
good
think
run.
it's coming. It was a good run. And I think there's one, I only found out later that Denzel Washington had done a similar scene where Mazette was hallucinating.
Yes.
Which meant I shot 3 of myself. So in a scene, I would shoot this, and then I would shoot that, and then I would shoot this. So this one is telling this one.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So at this time, I'm in a cell with the director and the crew in a cell. Like I said to Mandla that day, like as in you're gonna literally ngizohlanya. That's how I felt like I was leaving myself, like bese ngingazazi, but then I wangithengela ibhodlela at the end of it. So it's cool. We cool. Mandla and that's my brother.
I hope it was a bottle of Martell.
No, it was a bottle. Yeah, no. Let's say it was Martell now.
But Doc, are you hearing what she's saying?
I'm hearing it, dog.
No, that's
crazy.
insane,
Oh
bro.
man,
that's
it
insane,
was
bro.
that me telling this me ukalelan, and that this me is crying, and this me is laughing at this me, and you know.
And obviously, with each personality, you have to shoot more than once.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Thinking about it now, my brain is so. I think that was one of the most challenging scenes that I did on lockdown. It was all for good television.
Guys, you know what I'll tell you? I'll tell you a story. Like, I respect your guys' craft. Like, I never did before. I'll just be like, this one is pop, this one is trash, this one connect, this one must stick to music, whatever. Until I did a cameo this year, right? Where a very big production, did a cameo. I was there, and we were doing the scene the whole day. So they were telling me that the scene on camera will be like 5 minutes, literally.
Yeah.
Not more than that.
On camera.
On camera.
Yeah.
But we shot this thing from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m.
Yeah.
By the time I left the scene, or by the time we had wrapped up, I lost my voice. I was fucking tired. Just wanted to get home. I was like, this is insane. And it made me realize that when it comes to entertainment, I think you guys are at the bottom of the food chain. Because I've done TV, presenting, radio. We podcast now, we just sit and talk shit. You know what I mean? But that was extreme, bruh.
It's a lot.
Different grade.
And that's
And
why,
on top of that, there's this thing that you guys are going through where you don't get the royalties.
Yes.
So even like with music, at least can still earn music if you have the right paperwork for years and years to come, you know?
Yeah.
Like the Lion King guy who's still eating to this day.
So we're hoping that one day
we are.
someone's going to sign whatever needs to be signed so that we can also get
The
the royalties.
presidents.
You guys are at the bottom of the food chain.
Yeah, we
But
are.
you do the most work.
Yeah.
And you sacrifice the most.
Yeah.
And you're the most passionate.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
I mean, that's why it is a healing thing. It's a calling. And you can't do that if you don't have the calling. An actor that does not have the calling does not last. But actors that have the calling, it's not just a thing. It's not just me wanting to be famous and stand in front of a camera. It is a calling because you need to have the patience for it, the passion for it. And you need to be able to, on a set where maybe we do get sometimes to perform with people that are new. So on a set, you need to have the patience to be patient with someone that's new and help them out. And help them out in running lines with them, help them out even with performance, you know. Even though you can't do that all the time because, I mean, it's not everyone that will ask for help. But what I'm saying is you have to have the patience for that. You have to have the patience for when crew is doing their thing, lighting up and whatever, changing whatever, have the patience for that and understand that they're doing their work too. So you can't be impatient. You need to be patient.
And yet it's still the least rewarding.
it's the least rewarding, dog.
but it takes so
You can keep
much.
it, man.
But
I'll
you
stick
know-
to talking shit,
but
dog.
you-
That thing is painful.
But you know what it is? For me, when I was not performing, that's why I struggled so much with mental issues.
Yes.
When I got into the industry and started performing, I've been fine.
But I feel like
Because
that's...
I'm doing something I was fulfilling. There was a void. There was a hole. And I got sick every time. Look, when you're in corporate, you're set. You've got benefits. You've got all kinds of
security.
things. I mean, I worked in a hotel space, in the hospitality space. I worked as a sales person for Protea Hotels. That came with, I didn't have to come into the space, but because the space was asking me to come into it, I needed to end up in the entertainment space.
It's giving slavery.
It's all right. Maybe we in our other lives we were the slave masters. Maybe now we need to come and be the
How
slaves.
are you though financially? Like, are you sorted? Are you good? Are you happy?
Yes.
You're happy, no?
Yes, I am.
Is it from acting or from other business ventures?
It's from acting, but now also I've started a business venture.
So it's just a bit of both. No?
Yes, it's a bit of both.
Before you get your first role, I think Dr. John Kani is the one who gave you a break, yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, in Kava, no? What other shows did you audition?
I had never. That was my first. In fact, I didn't audition for Inkaba. I was called in because it was, what is it called? A featured extra.
Okay.
So when you're a featured extra, you're going to be there. But you're not gonna have lines. You just those that pass through, the camera, that wipe the camera. I was a maid. But that was my way in.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, I had a full-on storyline. I skipped from featured extra to support cast.
Wow.
And I had a full-on storyline.
What happened with Quindom earlier this year? Because apparently you guys didn't get paid for some time.
Can we pass that?
Okay.
It's a trigger.
Okay, is it?
You know what a trigger is?
Yeah. And we don't want that, eh? But it's going to be resolved.
Quindom is lovely, eh? It's beautiful. Singabamanzi. Singabamanzi, and I can't sit here on this couch and trigger people.
Yeah.
It's a trigger for a lot of people.
Yeah. What roles do you still want to play?
I haven't played like a superhero type of thing. I still need to move into that space. Like how they did Boama Wakanda.
Yeah.
I still want to be in that.
You didn't get the call for Wakanda?
Oh. Mam Connie got the call for Wakanda. That was enough.
Yeah.
I think she paved the way for us, and Angas, maybe the next call for Wakanda 15 will call me.
Superhero, like are you black woman type vibe?
Yeah, but not to go to now. I'm gonna have to now fight.
Yeah.
No, not that. Maybe I must use superpower, like my eyes. Like I must go, something. Something. But it must also be based here in Africa. Like KwaZulu, somewhere under a rock.
Yeah.
Somewhere I live there and I'm like this animal that comes out once in a while. Then Maizopuma Tumizi. Something that exciting.
Would comedy be a challenge for you? Comedy?
No. But I think with me, I'm funny without knowing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I can be a stand-up comedian, but I think I'm funny.
Yeah.
My kids laugh when I make jokes. So
Yeah.
I think I like comedy, and I think I do have a funny bone.
Why do you think comedians can act so well? Like they all act so well. It's surprising to me.
I think they are performers. Naturally, in order for you to hold the attention of an audience, you need to be a performer. So it doesn't matter which way we go. Either we're acting or singing, but we are all performers with that thing. There's a thing. It's not for all of us. It's that thing.
Are there any roles you wouldn't take?
I have kids now.
Yeah.
The over-romancing ones as well will pass now.
What are some of the actors or actresses you've worked with on set that make it like a pleasure and so ease and just make it so much fun for you?
Hamilton Dlamini, Themba Ndaba. On the current set I am on, Palance Ladla, Notangala, Slindile Notangala, Cindy Latu. I've never known that together we are that crazy.
Yeah.
What you see on television, you'd be shocked at what we do behind the scenes.
Yes.
Like it's always like we siyakuzwa, siyahlupha. But it's a pleasure. Do mabaso. Yeah. And I was happy to have worked with Buile Mdladla and Kulile Shabalala as well. Like these are people that are
She's amazing.
Yeah, man,
also a pleasure to work with. Yes.
Julia.
These are people that, you can only dream.
Who are you excited about for the future? Because on Blood Legacy, that kid, man, the kid who raped the girl and had to...
Yeah.
That light-skinned guy.
Yeah.
Yes, he's good, eh?
He is.
He
killed it.
Yeah.
Who am I excited about for the future? It's him. There's also the two girls on Kingdom. They play the characters of Tintiwe and Rejoice. I think it's Zazi and Lungelo. Zazi Gunene and Lungelo Matondo. I think the future is good there. I think the future is good. And there's also, I'm trying to find, I'm in all the sets that I've been in my head. There's the my son on Isita. Okay, he knows who he is.
Yes.
But the future's good there. And I love the fact that our young actors are serious.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not talking about actors that think that when you're an influencer, you can step in front of the camera and be an actor. I'm talking about actors that understand the craft.
And respect it.
And respect it and understand that you work hard for it and you prepare for it. And you be curious about people that perform. Watch different shows. Watch different movies. Sit down and watch a series and finish it. I mean, when I was at home, I was watching Greenleaf. And I watched House of Cards. On these, you learn different acting techniques. You must always be curious. Never show up acting the same.
Yeah.
Make sure that each character that you create is different from the last one you did. You're as good as your last job.
And I honestly think acting-wise, we're on par, if not better, than some of the guys overseas. I feel that way.
I think we are better. Why I say that? They have more money and they can be given long periods of time to prepare. We get a script now and we're told we're starting next week and then it's like this. We never have movies where it says you get a script now and you get paid for the year while you're still preparing and then you start shooting next year. We don't have that luxury.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think about our exports, like in terms of this industry, the ones that are representing us? Are you happy?
I'm happy
with what's out there.
I'm happy with Tuso.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that she's growing in the direction she's growing. I'm happy.
You're just going to say Tuso.
I'm happy with Nomzamo, with what she's done also. I haven't watched Coming to America.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it, but I'm happy with what she does. I mean, she's also a philanthropist and she does a lot of amazing work, but I'm happy with what is representing us out there. Because up until we go,
we'll never know.
What are some of the frustrations with acting, like, in the same production as these influencers who are now put in front of cameras, if you have shared a camera with them?
Look, I don't know many of them. Maybe I have.
But you didn't know.
But I didn't know. I'm serious.
Valid.
Yeah, I'm serious. Up until someone comes and says to me, my name is so-and-so and I am an influencer, I will not know. Maybe also I was on set with them, but they were not in the scene that I was in.
Yes.
It's I'm not trying to be snazzy.
I get you.
You know what I mean? So, but I do wish that even if you are an influencer and you do find yourself being casted for a role, do the work. Do the work.
Respect the crowd.
Respect. It is to be respected because it is a serious industry.
Yeah.
It's a serious thing, this thing that we do, to become other people. Because it's not acting. You literally become somebody else.
Imagine.
And you still, I say it's exactly like what I was explaining about Idlozi. You shift and
then you let
Idlozi
that
uses your
person.
body. It's exactly the same thing with the characters that we get to perform.
I was watching your YouTube video with your daughters last night.
Which one? The Grey Couch Conversation?
Yeah. And you guys were talking about relationships. This is 5 years back.
Yes.
But this is some of the things you mentioned. I want to know if you still feel that way. You said, don't look for love, let it find you.
Wow.
I believe that still. And they know that.
And where are we looking? In the strip clubs? Where are we looking for this?
We're not looking at the strip club. Look, I've got 4 girls.
Yeah.
And I've always said to them, what I want, my only ask, Bantabam, is go to school, finish your education, do whatever it is that you need to do, that you want to do in order to make your own money first. Before we go out there and look for husbands with money.
Yeah, must.
Because we must find husbands with money with our own money. That is how, when we have our own money, then we travel the world. Then we meet people. We search here in South Africa. We go out, Sazabantu, Sibazi, and then we say, now I'm ready. I'm settling with whoever I found. Ungazivalele khoneni la South Africa la khoneni la ngakini and then go to school ngakini, come back, get married ngakini, sebenza ngakini. What do you know? Can we be curious? Asiphume sazi abantu sazi umhlaba. Can children siphume, take a gap year, travel? There are these programs where you can travel as young people, backpackers. Do that. Be curious. Aside from just hambe klapini ngakini uchavu tholi indoda ikushade, or vice versa. You know what I mean? It's boring. Let's be more curious about life.
Yeah.
Asithi makhulunywa ngeChina, sengike ngaya mina eChina with backpackers, Cape Town, where travela. Ungayo travela ngoba honeymoon. Come on. Come on.
Tell that to Gen Zs. They'll say, Ma, you're capping, Ma.
Come on. No, but...
They just want to shake their asses in Dubai, dog.
Hey, bro.
And it's not
and
only
do
I
more
went
there.
to Dubai. Angibonanga nix. Well, maybe I didn't go to a fun part of Dubai, but... Dubai, ngayitolo zakho ningathi obaba my friend. I mean, really.
But as someone who's older and wiser, where do you think the Gen Z got it wrong? Because they just want to...
too relaxed.
They want to sleep, especially for money. And they just want a quick... I don't know, man. How do you explain it?
And show the whole world how they're living. They're not even in the moments that they're showing the whole world, because half the time they're capturing these moments and
they'll do anything. And they'll do anything.
bro.
Ushuthi umuntu even emngcwabeni wakhe,
Yes.
you know, as they go down, not dying. This is how I exited. Come on.
Aren't you worried about that? Because you're raising girls.
No, I'm not. You see, the blessing was for me to have been raising them alone eventually, because I divorced in 2017. So I have to raise my own kids.
Yeah.
And then I always say I'm not raising them alone, because I accepted these gigantics that
Gotcha.
walk with me.
Yeah.
So I'm raising my children with the gigantic ones. So my children know ukuthi ekhaya kunomsamo. Like makonto eyenzakala empilweni yami as a child, ma, can I go to Okoko and can we go and say thank you for whatever good? And when we are about to embark on a certain journey, can we go to Okoko? You know what I mean? I now don't have to teach them that, but there's something that grounds them.
But it doesn't always work like that. There are...
I'm talking about my household, MacG.
No, but I'm saying there are households similar to yours,
Yes.
where the daughter is raised by a priest.
Yeah.
They come from a very Christian family.
Yeah.
And then they're, what is it, a PK? A
Yeah.
PK, right?
Yeah,
Pastor's kid.
And then they get into this Instagram lifestyle, they see what's happening, and then jiggy, they are DJs and selling their bodies.
Look,
Ish.
I'm going to talk about my household. I need
you.
abantu.
Got you.
I'm lucky to be very close to my children. I've got 2 girls. My firstborn is in the industry behind the scenes,
Oh, wow.
Jadine.
Okay.
Jada is an influencer.
Oh, nice.
who is kicking butt in her space.
Wow.
Shout out.
I mean, Jada's 20, but she's moving out. She has her own apartment.
Wow.
And she's maintaining her own lifestyle.
Look,
Now,
Whoa,
I now know
please
that...
repeat that for all the ladies out there. Please, age.
Yeah, nah, it's important.
Please,
It's
what?
like they need to know. It's possible.
But it's also a thing of they see me work hard.
Yeah.
And they want to be like mom and more.
And more.
You know, so I am an example to my children, and I lead by example. And when a 20-year-old moves out of home and I haven't paid a cent, I mean, she's moving across the road from me. But she's moving out nonetheless because she needs the space. Because the bedroom was small now. I mean, she needs to record these videos and do whatever it is that influencers do. She does that ngale. As umuntu ohlala ngale kamereni lakho, and then they come as a holy mali ongayazi nawe. So that's what I'm talking about. And then I've got 3 younger ones. And that's but 10 Gen Z.
Yeah, Gen Z.
But also they see their sisters. And that's what like I mean, if you start behaving otherwise, if you start behaving in manners that we don't know. I mean, and what I've said, I drink alcohol.
Yeah.
Ne?
Shout out.
When a child of mine turns 18, I've always said I will share our first drink together. Then it's up to you. If you want to continue, you know, go to Mina. I am disciplined and line. If you want to have whatever you have, we have it. Kotwa, this is how we have it. It's your decision whether you want to drink alcohol or not. I'm not saying, but what I don't want to think is
can I tell you a secret?
just like my mom thinks angpuz
Can I
naman.
tell you a secret? We start drinking at 12, 13.
I know.
18, you're pushing it.
Wait, no. What I'm saying is, I don't want to say my dad taught me. Baba, sorry. Baba, hambil, Baba. But I'm glad that it was my dad that would always give me, like, my tail. Baba used to like,
real?
yeah, Baba used to like the sparkling wine.
Yeah.
My food like a kush.
Yeah.
I tell it, I mean, ukfika kishin ugezizij. I tell it, ngamtshela uma wakho.
How old are you at the
I
time?
think I was 14, 13, 14.
Join the club.
And it's like, you know, so I'm glad he did that.
Yeah.
Because I always then say, I mean, utshwala ngaze ngiphaphele.
Yeah.
Ngafundiswa ubaba, and caliber of utshwala bephuza is not the trash that we find. We experiment with masesodwa.
Yeah.
I learned to drink wine, good wine. So, but uma wangifica ngelinye ilanga. So ubaba uqeda ukuthela ne?
Yeah.
Anginike engizwe imnandi le. Ayifake efridgini. Aphume. So uma comes in, I'm behind the fridge. I'm like this. So uma says, "Wiqala nini lento yenzayo?" Ngiqala manje. Njengamanje.
And look how you,
Ngibona nje mina ngiyaqala.
and look how you turned out. You turned out very well.
I'm cool. I mean, it's important to respect your parents. I mean, we still respect Umana. Uma knows we drink, but I will never come.
Oh, yeah.
Uma. I will come with a MacG. Ngiphuza coffee strong. La, duze kwakhe, but ngiyazi mina yini coffee.
Speaking of kids, I don't know if it's by design, but it sounds like all your kids, if not most, their name starts with J.
All of them.
Is that by design?
Yes.
Yeah, women love that shit, man.
No, but I was,
Yeah, I do, right?
Ziggy,
Well, how did
Zara.
you choose? Yay.
okay, so this,
Swombo, the next one.
but
Like, yeah, why?
but with me, this is how it happened. I was married to a Chablani, ne?
Oh.
And he was married to a Don. So, you know, you nickname each other. So I called him J, he called me D. Growing up, we met when we were at tertiary. So when we had our first daughter, I was looking for a name that had our initials. So J. Dean came about.
Oh.
Okay, so we had another girl. Jada.
Yeah.
And so we had another girl, Jade.
Yeah.
And then we had another. I look for these names. I Google, I find, you know. Then our last girl, her name is Jadesia.
Wow.
So then we had a boy. So the name that would have been, if Jadine was not a girl, she would have been Jaden. So then we had Jaden at the end.
Do they have
Zulu names?
yeah.
They do.
Oh,
so
okay.
Jadine Kaya, Jade Anande, Jade Nomusa, Jadeja Nozipo, Jaden's Busiso.
Are you currently seeing someone?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He's a tall, dark, and handsome guy.
Where do you get him? Because you know when you get divorced, it's hard to find someone.
I know. I was lucky. We met each other on Uzalo before we started dating. Because he was Nongoloza on Uzalo.
Hey.
Yeah, so I think we just liked each other from when we saw each other, not in the romantic way, but you know when you can have an easy conversation with someone. And then I discovered that he could pick me up. Yeah, I was one of those unpickables.
For real.
No, I was not. You know when you hug someone and you lift them up. Hey, then he did this thing, and I was like, this guy can lift me up.
What else can you do?
Oh no, but when he did that, he got all the guys on the Uzalo cast very jealous that everyone started picking me up.
Too late.
And would you get married again?
No.
Wow.
I don't know, man. Let's not have that conversation and give people ideas. No.
Meh. But marriage is beautiful.
I'm in a beautiful companionship, right? Remember, you don't want to just jump into it again. I mean, my divorce was finalized in 2019.
Gotcha.
So you want to make it breathe.
So you will get married again, but not now.
Hey, I don't know. I'm not getting younger as well. So I don't know.
What did you do last week for your birthday?
What did I do? All I know is last week was crazy. Eh?
Yeah.
I wasn't sober half the time.
Join the club.
No, the club. I'm in Tenjisiwi club. The girls. No, my girls have promised me. Ucheda Pela, she has girlies that host at these clubs. Oh, but last week they took me out. Jadine, my firstborn, and my Ucheda, and my sister, my cousin, colleague. They took me out to the Four Seasons. Now, first of all, I didn't know the Four Seasons existed in Joburg. Through Scott, I didn't know. Ngiyazi ukuthi TV, they most Four Seasons.
Prime.
So I get taken to the Four Seasons for lunch. Wow, I must tell you, I was blown by my own child.
Yeah.
Took me to somewhere I have never been. I mean, there are very few places that I haven't been to in South Africa.
In South Africa,
And there are very few restaurants that I don't know that are good restaurants. Now, Mozo Kipunya Ungisela, where I've never been, no, I high five GD. She did the things. And she bought me Moet. She came home to say we are leaving. But I was like, wow. Ukuzala, abazali bathi ukuzala. Stretch my bones. Yeah, no, I did that, and then we came back home, and
It was so fun. I was talking to her downstairs, and it was so fun. We realized we both have a drinking kit.
What is that now?
Because before I drink, dog, I need to make sure that I have tomorrow tonight alcohol. What's that?
Alcohol. Essential.
And
activated charcoal.
The
Rehydrate.
Yeah.
Drinking starter pack.
So she's got the same. Which one do you have?
I have
I'll see flames in the morning, dog.
Yeah. It's
I got
cool.
essential, activated charcoal, alcohol, and rehydrate.
He doesn't have one, and he drinks more than me.
Yeah, you've gotta.
I drink a lot of water though, throughout my life.
Yeah, we also drink a lot of water. Generally, we sleep with water, right?
Nah, I gotta figure your age.
I didn't know that at age. I didn't know that at age. But
You know, only 2 people in this room would do that.
it's okay, but I give my niece, when I drink with my niece, and she's 29. I give Jada, she's 20. I give JD, I give them just so that you're safe in here.
Yeah,
dude.
It's
True,
to
though.
be safe in here.
Have to.
By the livers and the kidneys, you know. And there's also milk thistle.
Hey, which one is that one?
It's small.
Bring it here, Mama. Bring it here. Hey, we're all
Have you ever had such a experience with alcohol that you have medication for it?
Yeah. That's when it's probably time to quit. It's a sign. Anyway, speaking about alcohol, so thanks to our friends at Martell, we've got a new segment on the show, ne?
Okay, I want to taste. I
you wanna
haven't
taste? Oh,
tasted.
yeah, yes, that's for you. That's for you. Right there. Yeah, imnandi. So the segment is called Martell the Truth. We're going to ask you 5 questions, and all you have to do is tell us the truth.
It's nice, Martell. It's nice.
Smooth, eh?
So all you got to do is just tell the truth.
That's it.
Which is going to be easy for you.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, what you got to lose, huh? What is the pettiest reason you've lost interest in someone?
Pettiest reason?
Yeah.
When they didn't call me for 3 days.
Oh, that's too long.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was way back in my time.
Well, you know the one-night stand, maybe?
Wait, no, not that. No, not that. That one was a relationship.
Yes.
I'm remembering this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd broken up with somebody, right? I'm at tertiary. So I have this one-night stand.
Yes. Zakal.
But I switched. I became the guy.
Oh!
Sat on the... Sat on the windowsill, bed raised, opened my window.
Smoking.
And then I left the room.
Whoa!
Gangster.
That's
I've
cold.
always had gangster moves.
That's cold.
that's
And your
gangster.
father, that's cold,
That is
man.
gangster.
Never spoke to me ever again.
Well, he was at Bonana, so he was on campus. So
Nice. Pussy
Mina
Loma came
ngimthembisanga
on.
lutho.
Oh, was it Pratev? Because you guys went to the same...
No.
Mashabela.
He left when I came.
Okay.
And wasn't he at Westville?
Wait. Repeat
He was
that.
at Westville.
He had left when you came.
Whatever, man.
That's
Whatever. But wasn't he at Westville?
campus, not sure.
I'm not sure.
I was, no, but it doesn't matter.
Beautiful interview, by the way, with Pratev.
I really enjoyed that.
How did you feel? Because he does like 4 hours, bro. He doesn't do 1 hour like
I
that.
can speak a day about
For
myself.
real.
Like, we didn't even realize we were almost 4 hours.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We didn't realize it, but we had a beautiful conversation.
No, amazing. Next question. If you could make one thing illegal because it annoys you, what would it be?
Loud music, lento le, oh, my piano.
I'm a piano.
I know, maybe when I'm not sober, but wow.
There's a spiritual side of my piano. Have you heard the Kusela? Bawo Kusela Abantoa. There's a spiritual side you're going to
nice.
appreciate.
You know what you must do?
But it's when it's noise. Like
Yeah, sometimes it's noisy.
You know what you must do?
Yeah.
Go home, listen to it on a low
on a low.
level, and listen to the message.
All right.
It's healing, like you're saying.
Okay.
It's new school healing.
Sound, I think with me, sound is sometimes young. I don't know, no isugi anoya mina, no
Yeah.
anoya.
Batala there.
Yeah.
But you do
Gigantic
music, though.
ones.
I do.
Yeah.
I've got my music is almost like on the Zawadi sound. So
Got you.
I call it indigenous, ancestral indigenous music, because then the whole thing you can hear good. No,
Is it on Spotify? Do we just type?
I actually have not recorded. I've only ever
Just
just
perform.
performed live.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Fuck, that's a dope idea.
Yeah, because I mean, let's sit like it's almost like a consultation.
Ooh.
Bro, imagine you're an artist. You can't hear my music on Spotify. You have to come to hear it just for that night only.
But how do I know what I'm going to hear?
It doesn't matter. It's part of the
Doesn't
journey.
matter.
Only when I'm
Find it
here.
there.
You'll find it there.
So you trying to dance.
Oh, that's different. I like
There's
that.
something there. There's something.
I like that.
Something.
Well, you can't make money from it, but
No, but it's a healing thing as well. I used to do it at the Playhouse in Durban because I was based in Durban. I think my last performance was in Durban at the Playhouse.
So are you singing or playing an instrument?
I sing.
Whoa. And it's just
Then
a
I
cappella?
would sing with a band.
Whoa.
So these are songs that you wrote, you practiced in
Yes,
the band.
they come, they bother me until they like a fully fledged song.
And you don't want to monetize it.
Man.
I just don't want to commercialize it.
That's insane.
It's sacred sounds that it's songs, but it's sacred. I mean, there's one that only made sense when I played Nkabai.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Sound. Oh.
There we go. Yeah.
There was one that it made sense when I was on Nkabai, when I was playing Nkabai on Shaka Ilembe, because then it was Ibiziwe komkhulu, ibiziwe kondaba ezitha ngibiziwe, ngibiziwe, uyangimemeza, uyangibiza undaba, uyamemeza undaba ezitha, uyamemeza usithula isikandaba, ngiyasabela kuwe ndaba ezitha, ngiyasabela sithula isikandaba ungibizile. Ungibizile.
Just put your name on it, man. Not your voice, man. Put your name on it. Not your voice, man. We connecting.
Yo!
I think the stuff should be on the next soundtrack. I know the first soundtrack, but the next soundtrack at least, especially for Shaka Ilembe, because it's very ancestral and powerful.
Yeah, and for me, I felt good. That song was literally saying that was going to happen. Because I got the song, I think it was like 2013. But I only got to do Shaka Ilembe in Manje.
I like what you got the song because
I did.
It comes.
Yeah.
We don't create them.
It said
They
this
come.
was the moment we were talking about.
Oh my goodness. Such blessings.
Yeah.
If you could go back and change one decision in your life, what would it be?
Married at 27.
Oh, that's not a bad age for a
No.
lady.
No.
You know yourself by then.
I know, but you know what marriage is.
Yeah.
For marriage, you need to be matured.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
And I think at that time, when we grew up at that time, it was a nice thing to be in, to be married at that age.
Yeah.
Nice for society, nice for family.
And optics,
yes. But what happens then when you grow up together? By the time you hit 40 together, you have become different people.
Yeah. Eesh.
You've grown into yourself now.
Yeah, and you now know what you want and what you don't want. So
Was that a pun? What did you say? You dawn into yourself.
You've grown.
Oh, I thought you said.
But I've been hearing puns since the crack of dawn. And you're gonna ask a pun that's not a pun. He loves puns, by the way. It's like you've grown into yourself.
I think maybe 35 would have been better. Because, I mean, you're halfway there. You are, At 27, I felt, I don't know. Not that I wouldn't have married the same person I married, because there was nothing wrong there. But if we had just waited. But there's pressures of family, society. We have children already. Abonje.
I disagree, man.
That's cool.
I feel like this. You can't put an age to it.
It's okay. Angithi mina ubuze mina wena.
Beautiful answer.
That's what I would like to do.
You am I telling the truth?
Yeah.
That's it, bro.
Here's another one. If you were the head of a union or regulator for actors, what's the first thing you would immediately change in the industry locally?
Firstly, I would make sure that we get our royalties. Secondly, we must shoot 5 days a week. Ooh. Never on a Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know we skip some Saturdays. What else? Hey, we must all have individual green rooms with beverages.
Yes. Important.
Very important. Of course, you lock the fridge, you open it on Friday afternoon.
It only works, it's got a lock. It only works on Friday.
What else is an issue in our industry? I think other than that, I can't think of anything.
I agree, man. We're going to have Gate and Mackenzie again.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to bring it up, man.
Please.
Having been on set that day just opened up my eyes. No, man, it's insane, man.
Can we just push for the signature?
That's it.
Sign the bill.
That's all.
So if they sign the bill, what would it look like then?
I think I don't know what the bill looks like now, but I would like for it to cover everything that we've done for the past 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Angazi phela noma it's possible. This is just me, because there are people that are old now that don't have anything, that were in the industry and hot in the industry 20 years ago. I mean, how old was that? That was what? 2004. That was 2004. Was it 2004 or? Yes, it was 20 years ago, 2004.
Jeez,
when you go back 20 years, there were people that were on screen and they don't have anything right now.
I'm an Uchawe from Imzinintu. I remember. He's a meme now with his Capitec bank account, a card, asking for help from people. And he's a meme now. Uchawe from Imzinintu was asking for help.
But he still did get gigs. I was on Dip City with him. He was on Dip City.
Tanda. Something Tanda is surname.
Vusitanda, yes. He was,
yes.
But I'm trying to understand, what does it look like? So let's say they passed the bill. Now artists, actors are getting royalties. What does that look like? Does it mean, because with music, it means every time someone streams, plays the music, you get a check?
Yes,
right?
I think it means the same. Because remember, we are repeated on other channels.
Of course.
Yeah, so in whatever channels, into it.
If Netflix comes and pays hundreds of millions for Shaka Ilembe to be seen in
So
Hollywood,
would still be paying you now.
Yes.
yeah,
Wow, that's a lot of money.
dude.
That's a lot. Guys will be living like kings.
Just like the Hollywood
Of course.
people. I think, because they have their royalties, that's why they live like that. I mean,
Charlie Sheen.
Exactly. But one of my friends said, DM Viola Davis, you want to act with her. I did, actually.
Wow.
I sent her a DM. I said, hey, Viola, my name is THANDEKA King, a South African actress. I'd like to work alongside you. Love your work. Follow your work. Loved you on How to Get Away with Murder.
Yes.
We're throwing it out there.
You have to.
I mean, I'm not
a
asking
shot.
for match. I'm just asking for us to be in the same show.
And you have such a...
Acting alongside each other.
Well, look, God is amazing, because who's that lady who's there now?
Oh, wait.
Was it
Tusumbedu.
Tusum Babe, who's a chiller. She's worked with Viola Davis.
Yeah.
Just say it, I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Just tell me.
I have just told you, I said, I DM'd her. I mean, that was not, it was out of character for me, but I did it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to step out of your comfort zone just to get something.
Exactly.
Do you know what's crazy? I see you killing her. Like in whatever that project looks like.
And getting away with it. That's how you get away with murder.
That's Penduka, any question you got?
Yeah, I want to ask, right? You said at the forefront there's a male, right? How does that affect your romantic relationships with men?
Oh, that's a good question. Hey, you're cooking
Didn't
today.
I just make an example? Didn't I just
I
say
saw
to
that
you?
by the windowsill when you smoked, right? Yes.
I think that was him then, and I didn't know. He was like, you're not going to do that to this one.
Hey, that's gangster.
That one's mine, not yours.
Hey!
Then we walked away.
Hey!
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about it. That was a gangster movie.
That was cold, bro.
And when I came back, he wasn't even there.
Oh, you gonna? What are you staying
I
for?
went and I slept with my friends there in another room.
Wow. Hey, Silomaka.
Hasn't been the same ever since. We can see it now. You know.
How's the?
But also to answer your question, sometimes it does become a thing in a relationship. I just I can feel that I'm now also a man.
You're stronger. You're
I'm
stronger.
stronger.
Yeah.
I can feel it, and sometimes it's best to just have that time to myself until I feel good. No, I'm okay now.
Yes.
I can be a girlfriend.
Wow, that's incredible.
And it takes a strong person to take someone like that.
Ooh, yes.
How's the knitting business?
It's crocheting.
Yeah.
It's going very well. We have an event.
Nice.
If you would allow me to say.
Of course,
the event.
of course, definitely.
We're using now. I'm trying to use, not trying, but I'm using crocheting as a form of healing.
Okay.
So how I'm going to explain it so that it makes sense is we're using it as a form of meditation.
Yes.
So whatever childhood traumas that you're dealing with on the inside, or whatever traumas that you've always had on the inside, you sit alone. If you can't crochet, you get someone to teach you how to crochet. And then you sit alone and you figure this thing out. All we need for you to make is just a granny square. So you're using this energy. It's going to frustrate you to create this thing. You take this energy and you pour it into making a square. These squares that maybe 100 people would have made come together and form a blanket.
Wow.
So you're not alone in your pain.
Oh my goodness.
We all need to heal, and let's come together and use this energy to create this one blanket. This is our energy.
Yeah.
The one that's been bothering us.
Yes.
We can go and maybe take this blanket to an orphanage or wherever.
That's powerful.
Together we are healing.
That is so powerful.
This event on the 27th of October, if people go to my Izandla by THANDEKA King page, you'll find the information there.
Please say that again.
Izandla by THANDEKA King, in the Instagram page. So there's a link there. You can buy your tickets. I invite you guys.
Oh, yeah.
All of you. The event is not for women because Abantu, they associate crocheting with women.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, picture a CEO of a company. This is a team building program suitable for companies as well.
Wow.
So all we want from you, Mr. CEO, and your team is a bloody granny square. You're not a CEO where I'm concerned. When you are here, I want a granny square. And you figure yourself out here on a granny square, and you're gonna frustrate yourself until you're patient with yourself through this granny square and go back a better person, lighter even, more patient. Crocheting teaches you patience.
That is so powerful.
So instead of making hats and clothing, yes, we do that, but now it's moved into a healing space. So we've also got Anele, who's a psychologist and a gogo.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting his surname right now, and I'm sorry about that. But he's going to be one of the guest speakers.
What's the name?
Siswan, Anele Siswan. He's a psychologist as well as a traditional healer. So he's going to be there because after the meditating through crocheting, we move into a space of speaking. So we speak our traumas. And then he, as a psychologist, then he kind of wraps it up. And then I have a performance by a group called 9 to 5. They're going to perform and we're going to have lunch and just go home. So I'm starting a movement. Through crocheting, we're going to heal.
It's so powerful because I was watching the series. It's called Fargo, the latest Fargo. So there's this female home where they house a lot of females that have been through trauma, abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, whatever. And what they want you to do is you must create, so you know like those stories when you're a kid that you do you build a puppet like from paper and stuff.
Yeah.
What are those things called? Paper mache, whatever, ne?
Yeah, or wet paper.
Like you make a story out of paper.
Oh, with different articles or maybe lines from an article?
No, it's not lines. It's like characters. So you make a character, like let's say the dad. You make the dad out of paper.
Oh, okay.
And then you tell the story and say the dad walks in and then the paper.
Oh, I see.
What is that thing called? I forgot what it's called.
Stick people. Those
Stick, those stick, whatever. So you draw the characters and you put your trauma into that. And then the next stage is you have to tell the room, like, so you have to relive that trauma and speak it out. And then after that is when like all the women, they like felt healed and relieved and were able to move on because they could face and tell whatever it is that they went through, which is crazy.
It's. I will say there was a 3 month process where I received this, because I always say whenever I sit down and I can't move, I can't go to work, I'm receiving something. So when I was injured on Dip City in 2021, I sat the whole year. I had just arrived, just started, injured my knee, sat the whole year, no movement. I'm saying literally, the only time I move or try to move is to go to the restroom. But I was receiving the energy of Ngabai to perform in 2022. When we started performing in May, I had healed and I was able to move, but I had received whatever energy. So you need to be stationary in order to receive something. So I was stationary for 3 months this year. receiving this energy that I now know it was not just for me to make hats and clothing. It was to heal people.
Gotcha.
Through the colorful things that are the cottons and the wools that we use, because we are reaching into your inner child. And it doesn't matter who you are. It's not a woman thing, this thing. It's not a woman movement. It's a human being movement.
Beautiful.
You're just figuring yourself out through trying to stitch something together, and you're mending your way through.
Beautiful, man. In closing, Sis Dawn, what do you want to be remembered as when it's all said and done?
There are so many roles that I've played that... I just want one line. She did it.
Nah.
Because I did it. I did everything I would have done by that time. I hope so. God, please. I hope I would have done everything that I would have wanted. But most importantly, the dream, I've just remembered that the little girl inside of me came back and said, we dreamed and our dream came true. Wow. And all we wanted was to be in front of an audience.
From being an extra as a domestic worker, you made it.
Hey, you're on fire today.
You know, someone can edit that and just say from being a domestic worker, you made it. So it would be like I was a domestic worker.
Oh, yes.
Oh, crazy people.
But they won't, man. Thank you so much, Sis Dawn, for coming through. This has been amazing. And I was telling Duda and the whole team that, God works in mysterious ways, because we were meant to interview you a few months back, but we didn't, because I believe you're going through a journey or something. Mm-hmm. But I'm so glad that it happened now, because I don't think we would have had the same conversation.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I was scared of you guys then. I would have had my wall up.
Yeah.
And I'm a very socially awkward person, whether people want to believe that or not. But I think I'm more at ease with you guys now.
Yeah.
So no, whoever was scared of them before, there's nothing to it.
We're healing.
They are just cool. They are healed. They are healed.
Yeah. Appreciate you so much, Sis Dawn.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Sis Dawn, THANDEKA.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we're out of here. Podcast is here. Boom. Peace. Yo.
Welcome to Black Excellence. Do not fear, for if you do, just sip on some grandeur. And if you still do, ask ourselves, what would Mapapunzi do? Parama chila, itlasha lefiki. Ungoyigi, even when they ask you, how sabi ini? Do not fear. For if you do, just say, Anistivi. This is the medicine of censorship. This is the pill. Which one is that one? Podcast and chill.